Welcome to the Human to Human podcast. Today's guest is Brooke Hiddink. Thanks for joining us.
Of
The
course.
theme of today's chat is actually luxury selling and marketing. But before we get into the theme, Brooke, I was thinking we could do some rapid fire questions.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Okay. First, live chat or chatbot?
I would say live chat, luxury
Okay,
goods for sure.
definitely. Best financing for e-commerce, Klarna or Affirm?
Affirm solely because you can accept the payment on the Shopify backend. Klarna, you had to go in for a while. They might have fixed that recently, but for a while you had to go into a separate app, which was a pain.
Okay. Would you show all reviews or show only positive reviews?
All if they're legitimate and reasonable.
Okay. Black Friday sale or no sale when it comes for luxury?
Free add-on item, free ebook or something.
Okay. Best call center support, is it in-house or outsourced?
In-house for sure.
Top SEO strategy, UX or content based?
Content-based.
Okay. And then $0 in the bank or 3.6 million?
3.6. Not
3
quite
point
in the bank, but
in the
after
bank,
sales
but
is still, yeah.
well, the reason I asked that last question was actually because you were able to build Audacia, this luxury home marketplace, from 0 to 3.6 million in 10 months because you went luxury. Could you introduce yourself and maybe tell us a bit more about your brand?
Yeah. So my name is Brooke Hiddink. I'm founder of Audacia Home. So Audacia Home is essentially a luxury goods marketplace in the e-commerce space. So how I would describe it in one sentence is if you imagine Home Depot, but the higher end items only in it as an e-commerce store. So we really focus on high end luxury brands in the e-commerce space. We really try to stand at the intersection of luxury home goods and top tier customer service because we think that's kind of a missing space, missing element in the online space. It's very hard to get top tier online customer service with fast response times, people actually answering the phone right away. It's kind of unheard of. So that's kind of our value proposition.
Amazing. So, how were you able to build that customer service? What were some of your biggest challenges associated with starting a luxury business?
Yeah, I think the one thing is like when you have higher priced items, you have less customers to serve. So I could sell one $10,000 item or $250 items. So I can make the same amount of sales with one versus 200, but we have to like that one person spending $10,000 obviously has much higher expectations than someone spending $50. So when you're building out your sales team, you have to really educate them a lot on the products and they have to know the answers to questions right away. Like it's not just general customer service. It's they have to know in-depth specific questions about every element of the product to satisfy this user before they buy. Because if you're spending $10,000 online on an item before you can actually see it in your house, you need to have all of your questions answered. And you have to actually train your team and really highlight the importance of educating the customer and being familiar with everything beforehand. So it's not like they need to search things up when they're on the phone.
Yeah, absolutely. So then when you are talking to these customers who are on your site to spend $10,000, do you see that their buyer journey is just way longer than a normal sort of buyer journey?
Yeah, like on Shopify, it will say on the order, it will say like customer came on this date and has been to your site X many times till they've like actually purchased. It's not uncommon to see like 7 months, 8 months, 3 months. Like visitor has been on the site like 16 times in the last 4 months and then bought. Like that's very, very common to see. And even we'll have people reach out, get some preliminary questions, and they'll say, okay, like it's October now. We'll be in contact in January to order, and then they actually will. So it
Yeah.
is a very, very long buyer journey. Like oftentimes people are moving. Like let's say if you're building a house and you're moving in January or February, you'll be contacting us now to get like your appliance package ready for then. So it is a very, very long journey that's very educational focused compared to like just a direct response buying decision.
Do you see consumers who go through this entire journey and then end up not finalizing their purchase, or how do you make sure that that customer actually goes through and finalizes
They
a purchase?
usually do. Like if they spend that much time on it, like in the research phase, if they're contacting our reps, they usually do end up purchasing. The one reason they wouldn't is if it was like an inventory related issue, or if they find a different product like that we don't carry for whatever reason, like that could affect it. But usually, like if they're going through the whole process, they're speaking to us numerous times, they're visiting the website, they're doing the research, they really have one product in mind and we have it in stock, they usually will end up buying, which is actually kind of cool to see that, because then we're doing our job on our end when we see that.
So are you building, so you're sort of building a relationship with this customer during this entire journey, it seems like.
Yeah, like we're often like in contact throughout. Like we'll be following up with them. They'll be contacting us back. They'll have like even their own builders or contractors contact us about installation and stuff. So it's very much like relationship based. And we're
Mhm.
kind of just fostering that, nurturing it. We're not trying to like hard sell and getting them to buy. Our goal is kind of just educate and provide value. And when they're ready, they will buy. That's kind of the mindset I really have my team focus on.
Absolutely. So when you're talking to not only the customer, but their contractors and whoever else is involved in the purchase decision, do you find that trust with your brand is a huge variable that these consumers are looking at?
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. So, like we really try and emphasize that on our website, but also we want to build that whoever we can, even when we're talking to them. So that's like a big thing. We have our phone number everywhere on our website. So if someone
Mhm.
calls, like we don't put them on, like if you call Amazon or something, you can wait on hold for like 45 minutes to speak with someone. Like we really try and avoid that. Like we try and answer right away every call during business hours. And same with chat. Like you're not going to get put through a 15 sequence bot chat. Like as soon as you press speak with an expert, you'll actually be connected with a person. So I think those two things, as well as just like pasting reviews around the website, featured in section, like we've been featured on NYU, the Listwire, like these sorts of publications, we really like emphasize that on our website. Then that helps build trust as well.
Okay, awesome. So, but did you struggle building this trust when you first went live with the marketplace? How did you manage to do it? I'm sure you didn't have a whole team of customer support right at the beginning of launch.
Yeah, it was tough. Like I remember losing sales because of that reason. Like we had one person, they like knew how to check how old a website was, and a guy was like ready to order, and he's like, "I see your website's only like 3 months old," and then he just didn't order because
Because
he could
how
see that.
young?
And we didn't have any, like my view at the beginning was when we didn't have any reviews, I just thought it was better to have no reviews than an empty review box. So people would like ask us for reviews, and we'd have to just say like, oh, we're a new store. But one thing we could do is a lot of the products we're selling are from established brands. So we could say, we don't have reviews on this product, but you can go look at the reviews for the same product that we're selling you on this site, and then just send them like screenshots of those without actually looking to the website, of course, because we want to keep them on ours. But
Yeah.
there is kind of like creative ways you can build trust around the product you're selling, even if it's not from your store necessarily.
And once you built that initial trust with consumers and you had the base, how did you then go to increase your sales? So that's the next step, probably after building the trust.
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest part is like a new business owner. Like this is the first business I've had, was kind of learning to let go and delegate. So I remember like when we were doing over 300,000 a month, like I was personally on the live chat and answering the phone still, which seems ridiculous looking back, but it was, as the business owner, like no matter who I hire, they're just not going to care as much as I do because I own the business, and that's natural. And I had like a hard time kind of accepting that. But as soon as I did remove myself from the business, so if I'm say, like for example, if I'm 100% effective, but I can hire four people who are 80% effective, then they're 4 times 8. So 320% effective versus me, which would be 100. So as soon as I hired out and delegated, then I get my own time back. And then I could put that time that I was spending on the chatbot on the phone towards growth initiatives like adding new brands, adding more advertising channels,
Mhm.
improving our website. So these bigger picture, more important growth related things. And that's really how we started seeing growth and grew quite fast.
Okay, so you sort of had to detach yourself a little bit from micromanaging, it seemed like.
Yeah, like I think every business owner kind of goes through a transition between when you start, you're essentially like an employee of your own business. And then to really grow, you need to become the business owner, and you have to hire a team and motivate and lead them while being detached from the day to day. So as the business owner works on the business, an employee of your own business works in your own business. So you have to really step out of that into being the role of the business owner to really grow effectively, I would say.
Yeah, okay. That's amazing. That's a great insight. So we've basically said that in order, one of the biggest challenges when getting into luxury or even starting, I would say any type of marketplace, is trying to build credibility with consumers. Because when you start, you have nothing. You're getting, you said yourself, you've lost clients because they're like, your site's only 3 months old.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But after building that credibility and sort of gaining trust through, be it being available for your consumers at all times, or getting more reviews on your site, or finding more creative ways to build trust, then is when you get into growth. Correct?
Yeah. And I think like with the marketplace, often we're selling items that are available in numerous stores. So for example, like if you were buying an iPhone, you don't necessarily care whether you get it from Amazon or Best Buy. You just want like because you're getting the same product, right? So all you want is customer service and to trust where you're getting the stuff. Like where's going to serve you the best in the long term. So a lot of the brands we sell enforce MAP. So that essentially removes any of the stores selling their stuff ability to compete on price. So everyone has to list at the same price. So the only things you have to compete on are customer service, website, and responsiveness, which is often very bad on marketplaces. Like they don't do a good job of that. So if you can sell like high-end products from established brands and then pair that with excellent customer service, fast response times, and a nice website, it's pretty easy to actually do well fast because a lot of stores lack those things.
Yeah, I mean that's something that I see myself whenever I'm shopping. Um, I don't feel like I'm shopping on a credible site because it is sometimes
Yeah.
lacking customer service. I'm like, who am I talking to? There's nobody. What if I want to return this and I
Yeah.
can't? And then nobody's getting back to me.
The worst is when they act like it's a live person, like speak with us on the chat, and then you click it and it's like, we will respond in 3 days. I'm like,
You lost
okay.
me.
Yeah,
You
I'm gone.
literally
I'm
lost
gone.
me as soon as I read that message. Okay, that was amazing, actually, Brooke. So thanks for coming on. I wanted to keep it really short because you short, but great insights. So thanks for coming on. If just to summarize what you said, basically build trust, get credibility in the beginning. You might have to be a little creative with it, and then scale your business and kind of grow that customer service role. Correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Just establish trust early on. And I guess the biggest insight would be the only growth in business that's exponential is word of mouth. So if you're spending on ads, the more dollars you spend, you're just going to get more customers kind of in a linear equation, even probably decreasing over time. You'll see diminishing returns as you reach colder audiences. But if you can turn one person into two customers and then those two into four by providing an excellent experience, you'll see an exponential growth curve. So it's really, really important to focus on like user experience and getting those good reviews to improve over time.
Amazing.